There are only three reasons why people will respect you. One, those who can offer value. Two, those who can hurt you, potentially hurt you. And three, those who think highly of themselves. If you're able to communicate that one way or another, you're going to gain respect wherever you go. So today we're going to be talking about how to achieve this through 8 different sets of behavior that you guys can apply in your life that will bring respect to you. Where no matter where you go, you're going to have an aura, a presence about you that inspires people to treat you with respect. All right. And it's very important because when you don't do this, you send signs of weakness and it causes people to lowball you. It causes people to disrespect you. It causes people to think to not have a very high opinion of you. And this creates a resentment within you that causes you to behave in such a way that inspires more disrespect. All right. So let's begin this. The first and most important thing is to have regal barons, regality to you. All right. A perfect example is the royal family, right? There is something about believing that you are royalty. There's something about believing that you are destined for great things that is reflected in your behavior, in your non-verbal cues. And how do you achieve that? Well, first it comes down to changing your self-image, seeing yourself as somebody who deserves royal treatment, not out of arrogance. We're not talking about arrogance. I mean, you see yourself with such high level of respect that even in private, you sit with your back straight. Even in private, you behave as though people are watching you. These royal barons, just seeing yourself as somebody who's worthy of greatness, who deserves great. First things first, patience. Never feeling rushed. So that means this: never speaking too fast, never moving too fast, never responding too fast, never reacting too fast, never letting somebody rush you. An example is this: basketball, right? I play a lot of basketball. And one of the things about basketball is that this is how you shoot a basketball. You put the ball here and you shoot, okay? The problem is that when there's a defender, a lot of basketball players will instinctively rush the release. In other words, they feel like somebody's coming at them, and rather than doing their normal shot, they go like too fast, and it fucks up the mechanics. What happens here is that they're allowing the pressure to influence them. They have no presence of mind. They don't know that the slow route is actually the fast way, that taking your time actually allows you to do it quicker. So this actually reminds me of the scene of Titanic when Jack, who got played by Rose, he when the water was rushing and he was trying to open the door while the water is like drowning them, right? And he was like looking around. You can easily see somebody rushing that and never being able to open the key. But when you're in tight pressure situation, what you have to do is not act, but find a way to relax your mind. Then you'll be able to behave. Being able to demonstrate this relaxation, this walking at your own pace, signals to people mental strength, signals to people that you have a strong grasp on who you are as a person. But if you allow people to rush you, if you're rushing everywhere, everything you're rushing, you move quick, you react quick, what tends to happen is that it diminishes people's respect, right? It's one thing me speaking fast and speaking like this. It's another thing me speaking like this. There is a clear difference in how and the type of aura that I create around me by just speaking at a much not like a freaking sloth, right? But much speaking at a slower, slightly slower pace, moving at a slightly slower pace will create an aura of power, an aura of somebody who has confidence in themselves. Never rushing anything. Never let people see you being rushed. It'll create an aura of regality. The next one is a level of boldness and audacity. This to me is one of the most powerful ways to eliminate timidity, right? Boldness and audacity isn't being like vulgar or isn't being criminal, none of that shit, right? For example, there was this one girl that I was dating, and she used to be, she was Russian, but she used to be very very like angry girl, right? And I was very young at that time, and she would like say, "Hey, what the fuck, Alexis? Where are you?" I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's wrong with this girl, right? And it happened 2 or 3 times, and each time she would do that, she would get even more fucking psycho, like a freaking crazy, like a goddamn polar bear. And I remember one time, and the thing is, she was so hot, and I was young, and I was like, man, I understand she's Lucifer, but she's hot. And then one time, she, what was it that she messed with? I think, yeah, I had a Larry Bird poster, and she drew a Hitler mustache, people, okay? And I was like, this is not funny. She was like, I was like, you've been a little, I don't know why you've been acting like this, but this is a little bit too far. This was a gift. She was like, oh, my fine. I was like, you know what? You should get out. She was like, what do you mean? I was like, you should get the fuck out. You're taking this way too far. Get out. And I was like, no, get out. Like, I even started recording like the voice message just in case she you know what I'm saying? Just in case she would go psycho mode and say some shit that I didn't do. Anyways. And I kicked her out. And to be honest with you, I could see how that was so sudden for her, because at that time I was a really nice person, and I actually, like, I was a very like a pushover. But something in me when she did that, that was too far. That was way too far. And I told her, get the fuck out, man. You're not gonna be drawing damn Adolf mustache on Larry Bird. What the fuck is your problem? And the reason why this works is because the boldness that you display, despite being needy or despite being desperate in the past, will communicate to people that you must have some hidden resources that's causing you to act that way. There must be something backing up this confidence. That's what that means. So if you were acting super needy, for example, and then they assume that you were that you weren't gonna leave, and then you leave, what you're communicating is that you had more confidence than they thought you had. What you're communicating is that you have something that you have a backup plan that they didn't know they had, that they didn't know you had. You literally increase your power and aura by boldness. And what you'll notice is that the people who you thought wouldn't chase you back will chase you back, simply not because they like you, but simply because of the boldness of it. So, and that's why I say, if you created a reputation of being way too timid, of being a pushover, the solution for that is to make up for your mistakes with an equally level of audacity and boldness. So that means if they think you're weak, you just make a bold move and get the fuck out, because just ghost their ass. Make them understand that they've misunderstood you, right? So boldness and audacity is a way to make up for your mistakes. If you make mistakes, a bold move will literally make up for it. If they think you're needy as fuck, if they think that you're the most desperate person on the planet, getting the hell out, blocking them from every way possible, will cause them to see that you're not as weak as they thought they were. And even though you're blocking them in every direction, they'll find a way to contact you if they like you. It's just that simple. The next one is asking for the moon. The Christopher Columbus strategy. One of the things that Christopher Columbus did because you gotta understand, Christopher was not a rich person. In fact, he was like a con artist. He came from a poor family. And one of the things that he discovered was that if he asks for the moon, if he asks for crazy things, like if he raises his price for just crazy stuff, people above him will respect him more. When he came to Queen Elizabeth asking for more, when he was making his bid to become an explorer, first of all, he never sailed, never led men, he doesn't have any experience. What he did have was a level of confidence. And the way he portrayed his level of confidence was by his crazy fucking high demand. He asked to be called like Lord Admiral of the Sea. He asks for a certain percentage of what they find, and then he asks for a certain percentage. He asks for 10% of every riches they find, of all the riches they find, and it should be given to him and his generation forever. Dude, what the fuck, forever, dude? Really? Like, who gives a fuck? And in the book, when he said that, Queen Elizabeth, I believe it's Queen Elizabeth, chuckled. She chuckled, looked down, and she was like, look, I can't give you that, but I respect your boldness. And that's what I'm talking about. Asking for a lot, even though you don't get it, people will gain respect for you. Asking for a little, even if you get it, they'll look down on you and think, you know what, this person is worth that. But even if you ask for a lot and you get little, like I said, that becomes leverage for future negotiations. The respect level that they have for you has increased. So that means asking for a lot. That means demanding people to treat you with respect. Respond to me on time. Be on time. You know, don't talk to me that way. You demanding a lot, and not just in relationships, but just in life in general, people will respect it. But just make sure when somebody does overcross your boundaries, make sure that, because it goes on to the next point, is regality. Okay, having a regal air to you. That means if somebody disrespects you, you don't raise your voice. You don't make threats that you're not gonna follow through. You don't bluff. What you want to be able to do is be little of words and big with action. So that means if somebody's disrespectful, you don't raise your voice. You give them a look. And then you say, I don't like what you did that right there, man. Please don't do it again. You just learn to communicate. And if they do it again, you don't raise your voice, right? You just get up and leave, right? That regality, where you don't let people watch you have silly arguments. You don't let people see you lose your cool. You don't let people see you use being vulgar, being unprofessional, right? You act as though everyone is watching you 24/7. You have that conscious awareness that people are aware of you and that you have to act with respect and regality. So that means you don't get in silly debates. So that means that you don't act hood, you don't keep it real all the time, right? You assume that everyone is watching. The next one is having, like I said, having a difficult side, right? And that's why I was talking about even with negotiation, even if you want to get, like, for example, $70K a year if you're negotiating your salary, even if that's what you want, you make it difficult for them to just give you that. Like even though that's exactly what you want, put up some resistance, right? Because it comes down to the next side, is that people respect somebody with a dark side, right? People respect people who know how to compartmentalize themselves and be able to show different masks depending on the situation. For example, like actors, like the Joffrey guy, like from Game of Thrones. A lot of people used to go up to him and say, "Fuck you, Joffrey," and they're like, "Bitch, I'm just acting." Right? He was so good at his job that people assumed that his dark side was really him, right? And so what you want to be able to do is be able to have different sides of your personality depending on the situation. If somebody disrespects you, you're able to show a darker and more aggressive side to you. If somebody's acting nice with you, you're able to show the niceness. If you're a teacher at school, you're able to show a more serious, assertive side. But then when your students see you outside of school, they're like, "Oh my God, Miss Kumbara," that was one of my teachers. You're so nice outside of school, and she'd be like, "Well, you know, I'm at work, so I gotta be more professional around you." People respect that. You get what I'm saying? And so too many people try to keep one face in every situation because they want to keep it real. Well, but what they don't notice is that acting is part of it. That's what you call being a professional, right? Being able to be a professional is keeping the decorum, even when everything about you says go in the opposite direction. So that means, and a perfect example is Goku from Dragon Ball Z, right? Goku is known as a very happy, friendly person, right? And in fact, he's actually the goofiest person on the show. But then when his friends get bullied, when his friends are about to die and something like that, what Goku has is that he has another side to him that's really dark and really aggressive. He has a darker and more serious side, and you'll notice because he'll go from hello there to like more like seriousness, and that ability to be able to change, not personality but different faces, makes people respect you because they're like, oh my god, that's his serious side. But then when you go back to your nice and happy side, people would try everything they could to keep the happy side and not bring out the dark side. Not because you're, like abusive. We're not talking like that. But it's almost like a teacher who is usually serious, but then you finally do something to get a smile out of them. And you're like, oh, I got them to smile. Nice, right? That's what I'm talking about, right? It's almost like the Jamaican restaurant syndrome, where every time you go to a Jamaican restaurant, nobody smiles at you, right? But then the one time they smile at you, you remember that. And you want to see that side. So that's what I'm talking about, right? You want to be able to have a professional side and then allow people to see your non-professional side in a different setting, right? People who don't know how to put on a mask and change their behavior based on the context and setting, you just cannot respect people like that. It's like a pilot from the Bronx coming in to pilot with fucking Timberlands and freaking FUBU shirts. It's like, yeah, you can fly a pilot, but I don't respect you that much. Like, you gotta learn that this game is acting, right? And there's a psychological like effect on people when they're able to see different sides to you, and it's that it gives your personality more color, more flavor, right? It's like Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Like I said, Goku is a very playful person and very loosey-goosey, to be honest with you. But then when his friends are about to die or they're in danger, Goku turns into a freaking animal. He turns like just a very serious, angry person, right? And when you watch it, you kind of marvel at his different sides because he's so goofy, but then he's so serious and insane when it comes to training, right? And so those opposites in juxtaposition creates a type of friction, like creating fire, that gives his personality an air of power, and it increases their respect. As opposed to Vegeta, who is a very serious person, but he doesn't have that type of depth to his... Well, he does have a depth to his character, actually, because he's a better father than Goku. But being able to see two completely different sides in one person adds character, adds value. And you could do this not by being fake, but by learning how to play different roles that life offers. When you're at work, you act completely professional, to the point that people might not even know your true personality unless they meet you outside of work. When I'm on YouTube, right, for example, I give you a completely different side. But then when I'm in my personal life, my friends will see a completely different side. People got to see all the different sides of you, because what it does, it just makes you more interesting, and it inspires like a sense of fear. For example, Hans, the guy from Inglourious Bastard, the hunter, the J hunter, right? He came across as a very polite, very like jovial person. Hello there, we're trying to find some Israeli people, right? Because he was killing them. And whenever there were scenes when he came from happy to serious, and seeing those two sides in humans creates respect and fear. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Okay, learn to compartmentalize. Learn to embrace the shadow side of your personality, because the shadow is the contours to your personality. All right? And these are the things that you guys can do. These are the behavior that increases respect. All right? And these are things that you guys can apply in your life, not just dating, but in your professional life, especially about the part of compartmentalizing your personality. Learning to dim one part and learning to increase another part based on the context. People who can't do that, you can't bring them around certain people. You just can't. Like you pretty much say this person cannot be around certain people because this person doesn't know how to act, right? And that's where the power comes. Now, it's okay to be vulgar, but don't be too vulgar. Don't be too different, if that makes any sense, right? But that's for a whole nother subject. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org, and I'll see you guys later. Boom. All right, guys. So I want you guys to check out my online course called Dark Game. That's right, people. Dark Game. And this course is pretty much, I review to you the secret tactics, the secret techniques to create attraction in almost any woman, right? But not just attraction to the point that makes her want to see you all the time, where she's the one initiating all the contact, right? Now just imagine to be able to keep all of the girls in your life that you lost because of your stupidity. Imagine, and I had stupidity too. Imagine being able to keep them. Imagine being able to have 5, 6 women available to you, wanting to see you. Imagine being able to create intense relationships where they're all doing all the work. People, that kind of stuff does exist, people. Now, I'm not going to promise you that you're going to bang like 40, 50 women. I'm going to promise you that you're going to be able to keep the women you have, that you get with. I can promise you that keeping them will increase with this course. But let me keep showing you something. This course is pretty huge, people. It's a huge course. This course has over 50 videos, right? And some of them you could get for free. If you just sign up, you get free videos, right? But in these videos, let me show you guys the course, right? All right, guys. Shit. That's me right there, right? In this video, I pretty much teach you guys how to find your purpose, right? All this is how to find your purpose, discovering your purpose, right? I teach you guys then about female psychology, all of the principles about female psychology you guys need to understand. I then teach you guys the mindset, the proper mindset that you guys need to deal with women. After that, I teach you guys 21 videos on how to game. I mean, it's pretty much unbelievable, man. I gotta make this available, right? But it's unbelievable how many, I pretty much put everything: outer game, social circuit game, strategies, threesomes, foursomes, everything, right? And on top of that, I give you guys a few bonuses: how to overcome approach anxiety, why you can't take actions, a Dickens pattern to change your mentality, how to go from open to transitions, right? 81 minute long, people. This is like, I don't know how long this is, but this is hours, and I mean hours worth of content. And you get a 30-day money back guarantee. I mean, you without questions asked. All for $99, people. This could be around a few thousands, to be honest with you, right? But you guys get it for $99, right? All you gotta do is just go over here, purchase the course, and you'll get access to it. And if you don't like it, you could just message me and get your money back, people. Look, man, don't be hard-headed, people. Don't be hard-headed. This is the course that you guys need, right? It gives you guys everything. I cover everything. I could promise you, man, you're not gonna get a more in-depth course on how to attract women and keep them more than this. All right. Anyways, people, check it out. 30-day money back guarantee. There is no risk, and you can get the free course. You can get the free trial. The free trial are these videos that you get for free, right? You guys could just sign up. You could watch all of these videos for free, right? And you don't have to pay. All right. Anyways, I'll see you guys inside. I want to see you guys inside because, again, people, you can't lose nothing. There's a 30-day money back.